here is a reminder of all the teams that have qualified officially for the 2026 World Cup. And for the teams that have not yet qualified automatically, well, they have to go through a little thing called the playoffs. And one team that is very familiar with that is Italy. So let's take a look at the UEFA World Cup qualifying playoffs that were just drawn earlier this morning. So Path A. In the first semifinal, you have Italy taking on Northern Ireland, and on the other side, Wales against Bosnia and Herzegovina. And important note, too, Italy, after the fact, they drew home and away for the teams that would advance to that final for a chance to go through. And so Italy drew away, which is an important note. They would have to go away if they get past that first matchup to Wales or Bosnia and Herzegovina. And so then there are all the other matchups as well. You can get a nice look at those. But we're going to focus first, our chat here, boys, on the Italians. So Troy, looking at that, how are you feeling if you are, all of our great Italian friends here who joined the show? Is that you think that, this would be the time that they get through the playoffs after missing out the last two times around?
In a way, overconfident. In a way, Northern Ireland is a team that obviously is decent. It's a good team, but I don't think it's a team that would, if you look at it from the Italian lens, would be one you're scared of in terms of historical advantages. I think the Italians understand where they're at this moment in time. It's not great. They are learning under Gattuso. They've got that element of togetherness. Kind of stumbled onto a 4-4-2 formation, a little bit old school. I think the questions we've had when we've spoken to our Italian colleagues here has been more, do they have the quality now to get over the line? They've got the spirit back. They've connected with the fans. Do they have that level of quality? Will someone like Chiesa come back and play? These are all questions that they need to find. But I think they'll be looking at it just throughout that whole group and saying, right, if we get through Northern Ireland, we're potentially playing Wales or Bosnia. We should feel like we should be going to the World Cup.
You would think. Okay, Geoff?
Italy just give me the wobbles. And honestly, we all love Italy. We all love the Azzurri. We love the history of the country. We love what they've contributed to world football. But that's not been for a long time. And there's no sign of this pattern changing. The fact they're in the playoffs now, I mean, last time they faced Macedonia and they got dumped out, they were 70-odd places below them. So they've got in their locker to absolutely trash this once again, and that's what worries me. Of course, it's not what I want to happen. I'd like to see Italy at the World Cup, but if I was a betting man, and if we speak to Buckets later, I'll ask him, I would be very, very nervous because I don't know if you agree with me. Because of recent history.
Yeah. Italy has to be at the World Cup. No excuses. No. Italy has to be at the World Cup. Like, I get it. You lost to North Macedonia.
Would you have double quits on everything you own that they will be at the World Cup?
No, I wouldn't. And that's the worrying part. But Italy had. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. There's 4 stars above that crest. They are one of the more traditional teams in football history.
Yes,
they had them in the last 2 World Cups. They won 1 World Cup in South Africa 2010. This is a critical point.
Massive.
Like, we're talking about 15, 16 years of Italy almost being irrelevant, save that Euro, which is crazy that they, like, in this poor run of form on the global stage, they were able to win a continental title. It would be almost like a generational embarrassment if it's not already. I think that's what Italians feel like.
They're already there.
We have these incredible stories about Cape Verde and Haiti. Curacao. And if Italy misses out on another World Cup and these tiny nations, these humble nations make it, you would feel like you're missing out so much just for the culture of football. Almost, if obviously, if I'm Haiti, I don't care who else makes the World Cup, but when you have the opportunity to play against an Italy, one of the traditional powerhouses, I feel like I can no longer call them a powerhouse in football, unfortunately. But it's like they're playing with their own history almost.
Yeah, but I also said this when we had Marco on the show last week. I feel that every time a massive, huge nation has gone wrong, whether it be Spain, whether it be Germany, they've had this period where they've gone, right, factory reset, let's figure it out.
Never like this.
But Italy have done this for 15 years, as you said. They keep going and just making the same mistakes. It's like they don't invest in the youth. You don't see any young, youthful players coming through that you go, right, that's who we're going to now lead the team on. It just seems that they keep doing the same problems. For me, though, I still think they are favourites. But again, if you look at it, the last big game they had was against Norway. They lose 4-1. It's not
slapped.
But a system aside, Italy should have enough quality to beat a Northern Ireland.
That's what we said about North Macedonia. That's what we said about Sweden.
Yeah. Like, from a player's perspective, you got to wonder. I mean, how do they shake these ghosts that have just seemingly been following them for these last couple World Cups?
That played a factor in North Macedonia because when the cookies start to crumble, when the pressure's on and you're maybe not getting that result, it's 0-0, it's late in the game, and you play with the failure breathing down your neck right here, the mental game becomes the entire pressure of a country because everyone is expecting you to deliver.
And it will sit on those shoulders for months.
I will say Italian cookies are really good, though. Okay, let's take a look. Biscotti. Okay, let's take a look at Path C. You have Türkiye taking on Romania, and then on the other side, Slovakia against Kosovo. And with the home and away draw, Türkiye, if they were to get through, would play away. So, Nico, talk us through this. Where are you at with Path C right now?
These are three countries that haven't been to the World Cup in a very long time. Turkey since 2002 when they got to the third place the third place match. They got to the semi-final, an incredible run for them. Romania since the 90s with Hagi, that they were so unbelievable. Slovakia since 2010 when they were actually in Italy's group and got out. And Kosovo's never made the World Cup. But Turkey have undeniable talent, more than the rest. They're in better standing as a national team. And Vincenzo Montella has been the manager and kind of has found an identity for Turkey to push them forward towards achieving World Cup quality. And I'm thinking of the likes of Arda Güler, a Real Madrid player, Kenan Yildiz, a Juventus player, two very young, motivated players to kind of take Turkey into this next era of their own football. It feels like it'll be 24 years at that point since they hadn't made the World Cup. It feels like they are the chosen ones, along with a plethora of a lot of domestic talent at Turkey at the moment. It feels like they're the favorites.
But were you a little concerned to see them draw away? Or does that not really factor in for you with the quality of Turkey?
They draw away, and then they play Romania at home, and then they draw the final away. Either in Kosovo or in Slovakia. In theory, you should get the job done, but of course it makes it... Imagine being at home in Turkey.
There's more pressure.
Right? Yes, you could see it, I think, also, but when the fans... It's almost so supportive in that sense, so against the other team. It's so intimidating to go to Turkey as the opposition rather than like, oh, get this done for us. It's like, no, this is a war almost. Yeah,
it's a great point. I just see the other way, though. I think if you are going there as an away team, it's like, right, be good for the first 10 minutes. Make it slow, get these people really nervous, and I think they won't have to play with that pressure.
Okay, let's move it along next to Path D, which is where Republic of Ireland find themselves. Geoff, they are on one side of the bracket. First, they will face Czechia, and if they're able to win that match, then in the final, where they would either face off against Denmark or North Macedonia, they would have home field advantage. And the Republic of Ireland have been one of the best stories of this qualification process and their heroics. What are your expectations for the Republic of Ireland? Has the magic run out, or do you see them getting through?
The Republic of Ireland will be wishing this game was played this weekend because they are on such a high right now after turning it around against Hungary, after beating Portugal. Troy Parrott is on fire. So, I mean, it has been incredible. We are talking Phoenix from the Flames here. I had 1 point from their opening three qualifiers. 1 point. They were being derided in their own country as an utter shambles. Utter shambles. And look at them now. They are flying so high. And I just think they, as a team, they're all about the collective, if you like. They've got a togetherness, a resilience, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but there's no world stars in that team, but there are a lot of very, very good players. And you balance the youngsters like Troy Parrott with your Seamus Coleman's. You know, the old steady head, the talisman. Kelleher has done amazing to step in. He's a steady presence as the goalkeeper. So if they can carry this on, and I think this will be the same for lots of the teams going to these playoffs, it's the length of time between, it's 4 months basically between now and then.
Can happen.
Yeah, how can they keep this momentum going? Because they will fancy themselves, and that home advantage is huge.
The one little detail that we forgot to mention is by the time that these playoffs for all the 22 teams that are still involved, they'll know what their group is if they win, right? Because the draw is happening on December 5th, and there are going to be placeholders for these teams in these 6 different paths. So it's just an interesting dynamic. It's like they could be playing their way into the group of death or something like that.
Yeah, and if it's a favorable group, I mean, that's just, again, you try to find, Troy, especially from a player's perspective, I would imagine every little motivating factor that you can just to get your group ready to go into battle for these situations. Okay, let's look at the final group that we're going to talk about, and that is Path B, Troy. So we'll take a look at, okay, there we go. So you've got Ukraine facing off against Sweden, and then on the other side, you have Poland and Albania. As far as the home and away for the final, it looks like Ukraine or Sweden, the winner of that match, will have home field advantage in the final, which would be against the winner of Poland and Albania.
The one caveat here, because if Ukraine, they play Sweden at home, quote unquote, and they would play the final at home, quote unquote, because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine are obligated to play their games in a neutral venue. So in theory, they're not home games. So you have to consider that.
Yeah, but if they're used to that.
Yeah,
right, but it's like you want the support of your team. Like the Ukrainian Premier League is still being played. There's home support.
I understand that, but if they're used to that and they've got to this stage with that, they kind of know it's not like it's been taken away from them for this particular qualifier. Of course, they'd love to be.
But for Sweden, they're not having to go to a true away environment for that match. So, Troy, talk us through what you're expecting from Sweden.
Well, my concern with Sweden is who and what are they? What are they? They've brought in Graham Potter. Obviously, we've known him in England. He's not had a great last couple of jobs. West Ham went really poorly. Chelsea before that went poorly. We don't know what he's bringing. They haven't won now in 6 games. They haven't won. And again, in international, that's a long time. Because you only played 2 per international window. I don't know who they are and what they are. Do they have individual players like Gyökeres and Isak, of course, that can win you games? But where's the foundation behind that? What are you playing to? What are the strengths you're playing to? Will these guys even be fit and available for the next one? So for me, I think Sweden should have enough to get past Ukraine. But I think I want to go a little bit rogue here, and I know Nico is on the opposite side of things. I think he thinks Poland will go through. I think Albania will go through this, and I think Albania will have a tough fought match against Poland, but I think they'll have too much for Sweden in terms of spirit, fight, and want to get over the line.
Okay.
I forgot what I told production.
I think you actually did say Albania.
Did you say Albania as well?
Albania.
Apologies.
I think they do have fight, Albania.
Do they have goals, Albania?
Mate, they've only lost 2 in their last 10, and both of those losses were to England.
I mean, that's a pretty
2 in
good
the last 10.
track
Listen,
record there.
Decent.
I don't think we're going to sit here and become the Ukrainian, Poland, Albania experts. And
yeah, of course.
Right? But I think Ukraine has that added motivation of being this constantly displaced team, right? Going to Murcia, Spain, to Poland where they play. What did I say? I said Albania. And then...
Did Dua Lipa weigh into this decision?
No, perhaps not. Albania and Ukraine, I think that'll be the final. And those 2 teams, I think it's a crapshoot. They have an incredible, just added motivation. The fight that both of these 2 nations have had to
really
endure
quickly,
recently.
I know we've got to go to break, but why don't you believe in Sweden as well? I know why I don't, but why don't you believe in Sweden?
I mean, 0 wins in World Cup qualifying. You see their recent form and you say this is not a team that's got it together. Shambolic.
Yeah.
The football doesn't convince me. The individual quality here and there, okay, sure, it might bail you out every once in a while, but after so
a bit more,
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to just. I agree with you about Graham Potter, and his resume has not been great, distinctly not great. But unlike the Jamaica scenario, whoever comes in, well, we don't know who's coming in yet. He knows those players. He knows Sweden like the back of his hand, and he's got a lot of time to work.
Yep.
He'll be living in Sweden.
But what does that mean? A lot of time to work. You have one week of training.
No, go and talk to players, speak to players. Yeah, I get the training.
How much is that going to?
The last time he was in Sweden was 2018. So it's been a while. But I take your point. I just think when you look over the length of his work, you've got Swansea did a decent job. Brighton did a decent job. Chelsea, terrible job. West Ham, a terrible job. So I think if you look at it in context, you've got 2 good ones, 2 bad ones. Who are you? What are you? We don't know yet in terms of that.
So you can say the only place he's really been truly successful is in Sweden.
Well, also, I mean, 2 wins and you've got a spot in the World Cup. If that's not enough motivation to get the best out of any group, then I don't know what is.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.